Okay, very, very distressing story that in fact first we broke yesterday on the News Hour agenda about the death of 6 policemen from Assam at the Assam-Mizoram border, allegedly in firing by the police from Mizoram. Now, over the last 48 hours, we have seen some very public back and forth between the chief ministers, the government of the two states about a border dispute that has existed for long but simply seemed to spin out of control yesterday. Even today, now with the CRPF being brought in, with the chief minister rushing to pay tribute, announcing a slew of measures, the point is, where do both states go from here? And remember, this is a historic dispute, a historical dispute. To see this kind of escalation is very, very rare and worrying. The Home Ministry also is now involved in this. Let's go across to people who actually know this dispute inside out as well as the region. Karma Paljor, Editor-in-Chief of East Mojo. Lieutenant General B.S. Jaswal, former Army Commander, Northern Command, who also has in fact been in the region and knows it like the back of his hand. P.K. Mishra, retired additional DG of the BSF, also extensively has served in the area and has knowledge of it. Karma, I want to start by asking you, because we've had a situation of he said, she said over the last 48 hours. What precipitated this crisis? If you talk to the Mizo government, they say it was Assam which provoked, and the other way around. What are your sources telling you?
Well, as far as our sources are telling us, it all started now. Basically, what we were made to believe was that with Amit Shah coming in Shillong and making all the chief ministers in various states sit down, we thought that yes, there was a possibility that there would be peace and the border issues which will be handled. I mean, all of us were not expecting a magic wand because as people who follow Northeast know, it's a very complex region. But there was hope that with a very strong government at the center and a person who's possibly one of the most powerful, home ministers that we've ever had in this country, Amit Shah, he would talk sense. There would be a full effort to solve the boundary issue. Now, that was not to be, because immediately 24 hours after that meeting, you saw what happened on the ground. In fact, 5 precious lives were lost. There is who said, he said, she said, and, this will go on. Till the main issue is settled between the people of the state. Is there trust? No, there is no trust. There's always been issues of subnationalism as far as the Northeast is concerned. It is very complex when you break it down. Politics between states, after that politics between tribes. You got to understand strand after strand of the place called Northeast to really be able to understand what is going on. And for this particular issue, it is difficult to say who stands to gain at this point, because this was just unexpected. We had not heard from the chief minister or any of the government representative of Assam through this time. Remember, this border issue has been simmering since October last year, and even before that, July, in different parts of the borders. Not at the same spot, but different spots. But nobody had talked about it. There was not even a sound. And immediately 24 hours after that all-important meeting called by the Home Minister himself, there is this full-blown out violence and 5 policemen are killed. So even us who really followed this issue have a lot of questions.
General Jaswal, sir, this problem has existed for decades now. How was it handled from the security point of view, and how did things, in your estimation, get to this point where we had police of one state opening fire at the police of a neighbor, allegedly with an LMG? That's what the Assam CM is saying, that LMG was used.
Firstly, Padmaja, I'm very fortunate. I've served in 4 Corps, which takes care of Assam and Arunachal. So I know every area in this area. You see, this is a very, very unprecedented incident. Nowhere, I think the police has fired on the police of another state, and that too using LMG. We don't use automatic weapons if in case we have to use against a crowd. We use single shots. So this is a very, very unprecedented. But what has led to it, the previous question which you asked, is very important. It is the historical fault lines, those two notifications of 1875 and 1933. Now, Assam is following the 1933 notification, whereas Mizoram says, sorry, our tribal heads were not taken into confidence. So there is a dispute between the land, and most of these areas, they have been termed as no man's land. There's a bigger problem between Nagaland and Assam. There's the area called Dab, disturbed area belt, which is from Golaghat leading on to Dimapur. Now, as per the Constitution also, Constitution Article 1, the territory of state, etc., and read in conjunction with Article 3 of the Constitution, now the boundaries are to be drawn by the center. The boundary which has been drawn by the center, the revenue on ground, the revenue records do not match the difference of perception. As for the forces, now there are historical, this thing, 47 Sylhet went to this place, Bangladesh, that time East Pakistan. Thereafter in 60s, the ethnic states came up, 72, Mizoram came up. So every border has a bit of a flux as far as its identity is concerned. To say that it's a political problem, I don't think so. It's a constitutional problem. But lately, the fervor with which, the acrimony with which the two states are fighting, I think has become more of a political issue out there. I think there is a Ministry of Northeast States. They should come and resolve the issue on ground. Now, I'll tell you how this was being managed, this no man land. There's an IG based of CRPF based at Shillong. I had IG Dhillon, the famous shooter. He was there, and we used to carry out, they used to rather carry out operations over there whenever there were clashes between two communities. Firing never took place. But in this case, I would say vis-a-vis Dab, this area was much quieter, but I believe a lot of illegal migrants have come in over there, drug smuggling, etc., etc. And the people are trying to come in and encroach upon each other's perspective line. So that is the reason the Assam police came in over there, and the response was with firing. It's very, very unprecedented. The Home Minister has given assurance before 2024 he will resolve the issue. The Northeast Ministry should get involved forthwith. The kind of forces which are being told to be built up over there by Assam, 3 commando battalions, etc., it will only aggravate the issue. But very good step by the Assam Chief Minister is that he says, I'm prepared to go to Mizoram and discuss in person. So this entire area which is there, it is in a flux, it is tense. Yes. Yes.
But, you know, the thing is that this offer for talks happened in the afternoon yesterday, and the violence happened after. So one wonders how much emphasis one can lay on the possibility of that actually succeeding. But Mr. Mishra, I want to bring you in as well. The other issue that one is wondering about is that how could this violence take place in the presence of central forces? This is a disputed area. The CRPF was deployed there, and yet a shootout of sorts happened between two states' police. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I have gone to this area personally when I was IG Shillong and IG Assam and IG Silchar also. This whole area, the belt of this Lalpur area where it happened, and Gotkuti village where exactly it happened on 26, yesterday I have visited these areas earlier on foot, and I know exactly, it's not that only last 2 days the incident has taken place. In fact, from 1995, things are bubbling up. It's all because this 1875 and 1933 colonial agreement which is there 1875 Mizoram is accepting, 1933 is Assam is agreeing. But I can tell you that from 1995 things are hotting up in that belt, and you are correct in asking that one battalion of CRPF was deployed in that buffer zone, and it's all because in 2020 February also the similar thing has happened, and both the groups and police, they also came together, and there were a lot of arson and looting in those areas. And again it happened last year also, it has happened, and this time it's just after 2 days of Mr. Amit Shah's meeting with both the Chief Minister it has happened. I can well tell you that you are correct in asking how come these two police forces, state police forces, are firing against each other. I can well tell that there are two issues, three issues. Number one, if the central force was there in that buffer zone, in that no man's zone, why they allowed Assam police to cross them and to go ahead? And number two, why Assam police, they also crossed their limit? Number three, why the DIG of Mizoram police, I mean, they took the support of their majors, civil majors, and they attacked on Assam police and used the LMG. It is surprising to know that I have seen them. I came to know that it has happened in a few years. Even in my time also in 1995 when it happened, I have gone to this area. But I cannot visualize that in the presence of a armed police battalion, two state polices will be firing against each other. This is never hard. See,
so let me put that
in
question,
fact, one has to find out
the details of that remain hazy.
With responsibility on the commanders, both the commanders.
Is it
you are there to help the civilians.
So is it confirmed now, Karma?
Instead of fighting against each other, something surprising.
Absolutely. So in fact, let me put that question to Karma. Is it for certain now that the civilians were also bearing arms, one, and that the Assam police indeed crossed over into Mizo territory?
Yes.
Has that been established?
It's not been established. It's not been established clearly for the fact that, again, all we have right now are video claims. The journalists who tried to cross over from the Silchar side, from the Assam side, were not allowed to go. They were stopped at a point. The only videos we have mostly of the situation, what went down on the ground, are shot by citizens of that area, and mostly the videos that have come from the Mizo side, because that's the side where civilians, accompanied by the policemen, you can see all those videos. In fact, when the firing did take place, was taken. In all the videos, if you watch all the videos very closely, you will see civilians carrying sticks, arguing with the police, throwing stones, egging the policemen on, but nowhere do you see weapons being carried. I know because there are different theories of different theories doing the round of maybe some armed militants could have infiltrated that. There is no video or no eyewitness to prove that at this point, Padmaja. Also, again, it's just what Assam police and the Mizoram police are claiming. The citizens on the ground from Mizoram claim that it was the Assam police who shot first, a claim which has been disputed. So it's all that anger that is on social media right now is very unhealthy for development of the entire northeastern region at a time when we finally look, to be doing good. And the Northeast is coming out and growing to be a powerhouse. Certainly the timing is terrible.
So I want to ask a follow-up question to this. We do not know where the provocation came from, but do you think this is an outcome of local politics? The instigation was because of local political reasons, and ultimately the trigger was pressed by some hot-headed commander. What's your estimate?
Difficult to say, Padmaja, who pressed. But, as far as the whole incident is concerned, since October, we've been watching. It has been very, I could say the pot has been boiling for a long time, ever since Assam police marched there, tried to dismantle some of the farmsteads that have come up. So there is a lot of anger on both sides, especially with the civilians.
Okay, there is anger on both sides. Mr. Mishra wants to come in.
Okay. Yes, I can tell you, Padmaja, that this Lusai Hill, sir, the problem lies with the Lusai Hill area. When it was demarcated in 1933 by the British colonials, totally avoiding what they did in 1875 without taking the cognizance of the Mizo leaders. This division which made Manipur in Lusai area and Mizos, they thought in Lusai belt, particularly towards Kachar, few of their areas were occupied by Assam. And that is how from 1995, they started claiming those areas to take back to Mizoram. And from 1995, these things are bubbling up. It is not from 2020 or 2021. This is coming up, and I have seen it. It's high time that this has to be solved. And what happened yesterday, what happened exactly, the construction which government of Mizoram did it, that provoked, whether it is correct or not, that Mizoram government were constructing their road in Lusai Hill area towards Kachar, whether in Lalpur area, that was the area of Assam or area of Mizoram. Of course, that is no man's area. Even if they have gone, they should have allowed, they should have informed Assam police or Assam government that they are doing it instead of doing it by force. And this is what angered the government of Assam, the local people of Assam, because both the people, both sides, they have suffered for last 2 years. A lot of houses were ransacked, both the sides, by Assam police and so also by major tribals and Mizoram police also. And when government also came to know that both the polices are fighting in that area and they have kept a battalion there, that battalion should have walked. They should have stood to their on that particular area. They could have refrained those two police forces to come and fight against each other. I hope, I don't know what has happened exactly, why they couldn't react. Perhaps they were asking for orders, as it
which
was
is the more concerning issue at this point.
70 years
that, like you said, the discontent has been brewing since 1995. But how can that turn into a violent face-off? General Jaswal, we've had Assam saying today that we are going to the Supreme Court. Is a solution there possible with this level of distrust and seeming hostility?
Well, I do not know why the Assam government is going to the Supreme Court. Yeah. Can I please? Thank you. I do not know.
Just a second, Mr.
You see, like I said, going to Supreme Court may be against the incident, but the issue has to be resolved by the government, the Ministry for Northeast. And within the ambit of that, the two state governments have to work together. Maybe against the incident, they've gone to Supreme Court, they will only inquire into the incident. But they can't give a ruling on this. They can only tell the government, please identify and demarcate the boundary correctly. The Minister of Northeast Affairs, he should come. He's the one, get both, the Home Minister should come, both the Chief Ministers together and resolve on ground the correct demarcation. The no man's land has to be defined now. That it's no more a no man's land, the boundary lies here. It's a give and take thing. Something will go to them, something will come to the other party. So that is the way. It's going to Supreme Court. Well, that could be against the incident. But I don't think it's a constitutional responsibility. So that will have to be resolved by the Ministry of Northeast States.
No.
Is there a precedent in the region for a face-off like this? Yes, please go on. Mr. Mishra.
Okay.
Yeah, Padmaja, I can well tell you that what happened between India and Bangladesh. We have sorted out with Bangladesh that so many years of problem of these enclaves. We have exchanged the enclaves and in a peaceful way the exchanges were made. And this is the thing which I'm totally agreeing what the previous speaker was telling. The Northeast Ministry, which is there at Shillong, they should immediately intervene, and I can well tell that they should go and sit there and ask both the chief ministers and both the revenue ministers to come, and the representative of centre also should be there, and once for all it has to be decided, the border to be demarcated very, very clearly. Otherwise, I can tell you, it's what has happened yesterday, it will again happen. It is not, even if Assam government, they go to Supreme Court, nothing will happen on the ground until and unless the ground position on the field, it is not certain what is your area. That has to be done by Northeast Ministry, by the government of Assam, by the government of Mizoram, in the presence of government of India. This has to be done at the earliest, without any political linkage. It has to be apolitical. That is what has to be done.
It has to be an executive decision, not really something
leaders,
that can be imposed via the judiciary. Final question to you, Karma, because I'm running out of time. You know, we're told today that both the police have withdrawn now, and the entire area is with the CRPF. Is that for a fact? Is that confirmed?
Yeah, that's for a fact. I just want to make a quick point that, the donor ministry, which is the Northeast Ministry, which General Saab is referring to, has no local stand-by because, as far as its job is concerned, it is related to socio-economic development of the 8 northeastern states. So that cannot happen. Now, this has to happen from the Home Ministry. I want to say that most of the governments till date, all the Congress governments, even the last government of the Modi government, they've dragged their feet. The border issue can be solved. We finally have all the ministers of the northeastern states working with the center. They are listening to the center. They are coming for dialogue. This is the time to solve this border issue once and for all. It can be done, but it has to be done with everything in. The heart has to be in this, not half-hearted. All the efforts that have been done by the Congress governments, the earlier governments, have been half-hearted efforts. They've not even tried because Northeast was in a periphery. They never thought about the Northeast. Here we have a government which thinks about the Northeast. We have made, Northeast top of the center finally. We are mainstream finally. So this government has to walk the talk. Whatever happened after Home Minister met all the 8 CMs, that is sad. But then this time the government has to walk the talk and solve the boundary issue, not just for Mizoram, but between Assam and Nagaland, between Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya also, for once and for all. And we need development in the Northeast. That is what is most needed. We need peace in the Northeast, because Northeast can be the next powerhouse of India.
The region left ignored and on the periphery for so far, as all the experts of the panel have said. It's a pity that should have been allowed to come to this point. Immediate resolution is needed. Let's hope peace prevails. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, for having spared time to share your expertise on this subject.